Hey, I was not watching, I was actually listening to the Thousand Movie podcast, which I got introduced to by Steve Donahue, having been a guest on this um, fellows program. He is someone who is, I guess, about to reach his 30s, is still in the service industry as a waiter, sort of that sort of thing, but he's also a writer. And, that's all he's ever wanted to do is write. But he's never hasn't not as yet not being able to get published as a writer. Now he's 20 something, he's still 20 something, so it may just be he's putting in his dues to the point where he will be successful. As someone who is 20 more years on and has not been, and did have that dream at one point, I wish him luck. He's actually submitting stuff. I never submitted stuff, and actually I didn't do that much writing, which in some ways has disqualified me for the whole being a writer thing. But what he's also doing at the moment is he's doing this podcast, which a lot of the time are these personal essays where he talks about stuff. Now he does a really masterful job of editing, of having music, little sound effects, and just honing his writing skills, scripting his stories. Um, but I was struck by the fact that he says oftentimes these podcasts of his recordings, he's doing, in the middle of the night or just before the sun comes up, he's recording. And there's just that certain kind of intimacy where he sits back and he says stuff that, maybe he wouldn't say in the full light of day, but it lends a certain kind of intimacy to the thing. Sometimes an intimacy that he worries about, that, prospective employers or maybe publishers would come and listen to this and go, oh God, yeah, we wouldn't want this guy. But, at least from my perspective, listening to him, he's a really engaging speaker, somebody with a lot to say. But just this whole idea of, being in a dark room and talking to yourself is something I go, oh, I have a fellowship with that, even though I don't really flatter myself that what I'm doing is as entertaining, as revelatory, as deep as what he is doing. I'm doing the backyard, just off the top of my head, kind of yakking um, thing. And I don't know if I particularly have the gift of gab that he has. But yeah, it was just this nice thing of going like, oh, especially with my dark episodes, that's what I feel like I'm doing, is this in the middle of the night podcast where I am speaking out really to an audience of myself of one. But, part of me thinks, oh, maybe I'm a part of this guy's audience, I'm a part, not his audience, I'm a part of this guy's fellowship of people talking to each other in the middle of the night when, maybe it's so intimate you feel like you're just talking to an audience of one, and oftentimes that audience is just yourself. Um, yeah, yeah. And I mean, maybe it's the solipsistic white dude uh, genre, or maybe it's something that is done by everybody, at this time of night, in the dark, alone, just alone with your own thoughts. And you hopefully, maybe you can jump over a couple of hoops there, a couple of divides. That's something that touches not just me and carbon copies of me, but you know, there's women, there's just other people all over the world who could just be in the same position, sitting around thinking in the middle of the night and what comes to mind, and just kind of making that connection. However quietly, however lonely, however privately.